So we had a viewer question and we wanted to answer. Thanks for the viewer question. And it was basically someone that said that they are new to all of this stuff. Thank you, by the way, for saying that you love listening to us. That makes our heart feel glad.
Yay.
But this individual wasn't sure what a soul contract was. You and I answered almost identical, but go ahead, Sarah. What is a soul contract?
Right. So we are going to address this whole subject in a video by itself, but just overall, soul contracts are agreements that we make on the other side with our guides and then with the people that we're going to reincarnate with. And it's all kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to show up in your life at this time and we're going to teach each other these lessons, and it might be painful or it might be extremely wonderful. And it just kind of depends on the dynamic, what you need to learn, what they need to learn, and what's the overall goal. That's really the crux of it. But it's all it's like when we say fate is real, but destiny is what you make it. That's kind of the idea, is that like, we have certain things and certain people in our lives that are just fated to be there, right? They're going to show up.
We've agreed to come here with certain individuals to be in a relationship dynamic, but how that relationship dynamic evolves depends on our free will and our choices here. So there's an element of fate, but the destiny that comes out of that relationship is in our hands. I think that that's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah. So meaning free will choice, how you react to certain things. This will determine how well you are applying your knowledge in these lessons that you're learning or not, or, and again, cycles will repeat themselves until the lesson is learned. So if you're having a particular problem with someone over and over and over, it's like, you're not learning whatever lesson you're supposed to be learning.
So soul contracts are basically agreements that we make. That's it.
That's
agreements.
It.
So
they're kind of I would call them a pre-agreement. It's
pre-agreement. Very true. Yes. Because we're making those decisions. We're making those choices. And again, you hear this repeatedly from people who have near-death experiences through mediumship. There's so many different avenues that support that this is how our life is actually kind of designed prior to getting here. So it is relationships. It is the experiences, some of the experiences that are fated to happen, because some of our experiences are just kind of free flow. Some of them are like, this experience is going to happen and you've agreed to do it. So like maybe when you turn 25, you're going to get diagnosed with MS. And it's kind of like, there may have been a reason that you agreed to have this experience, which in the physical body doesn't feel like an agreement, but
that's just it. Like even our parents, for example, like, maybe you're like, why did I have to grow up with these parents?
Right.
You know? But I know deep down, I would have picked my parents, and I would have picked my parents again and again. And I know why I picked my parents, I guess now, because I feel like, man, I needed that in my life. I needed that contrast of the cultures and the religion, and all of that really played a big part in my perception on life.
The complexity of soul contracts is just amazing.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting because it was about 3 weeks ago. I sit down twice a week to just cannot consciously connect with spirit and let a lesson come through. I've been asked to do this, been instructed to do this. So I do this regularly. It's for my own growth. And out of the blue, they started talking about the soul contract we have to serve humanity when we come here. I had never heard this lesson before. And I thought, why is this coming up now all of a sudden? And it was really very interesting. We all come here agreeing to serve humanity in some capacity. And this is a soul contract, and how we're going to do it. They talked about how it could be done. And it was really very interesting. If you subscribe to my newsletter, as a matter of fact, the newsletter that is coming out this Sunday, which is October 30th, I'm
My mom's
sharing.
birthday.
Oh, is it? Happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm actually sharing that channel lesson with my subscribers because I thought it was so fascinating. So I think the point of this is to realize the soul contracts, the agreements that we have when we come here are so much more than we think they are. But they're also not one of these things like, gee, I don't have any control. No, we have tons of control, but we agreed to certain parameters within the game of life. And that's a soul contract. So, yeah. So thanks for that question. And we hope that that answers it in a nutshell. If you're really very interested in this and learning more about it, we've talked about it in other videos, but in our life lesson series, we're going to be definitely talking about this more, delving into it much more deeply. Is that good grammar? Much more deeply.
Much more deeply.
So be sure that you subscribe so that when that one pops up on Soul Contracts, you'll be able to, if you're interested, get a more in-depth lesson. So any more questions, guys, be sure and let us know, and we'll address those for you in a real quick format. So thanks so much. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.